Greetings, citizens from rolling hills of the bluegrass. Sorry for the hiatus, doing the whole Christmas thing. And again, like I've said, I don't want to get caught up in the cycle of the news because we don't know what's going on right now. We all have our hopes and ideas, but more than likely Joe Biden is going to be the president of the United States, and we've got to just recalibrate and figure out from here what are we going to do. So we know what he's going to start pushing. We know that on the social front, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff that we've seen in the tabloids or the mainstream media. There's not going to be a whole lot of change from there, but what's going to be more interesting is the change in foreign policy. How exactly things are going to be dictated to us by other countries, and if someone like Joe Biden is just going to bend over and let them do what they want to do to us willingly. That's more than likely what's going to happen. It's run-of-the-mill for Washington, D.C., because this is the fun part about populism, is that for the most part the motivations are irrelevant. And you could kind of qualify it as a type of classism, which we're in kind of this weird conservative socialist movement, I guess is the way you would think about it, because it has this grassroots, the populist grassroots elements, but there's always this rivalry towards the elites, towards those above us. And I find it interesting in that now we have multinational corporations that control the internet have injected themselves into this discourse, and they're now a part of this elite. So if journalism and the press were the fourth branch of government, right? We have unspoken branches of government, and the press is supposed to be one of them. The other branch of government is us, we the people. It's an unspoken one. It's kind of assumed, but we just vote people in. No, you're part of the process. As was shown in this last election. You're the other branch of the government. Not a recognized one, but of and for and by the people, you're a part of it. So it's the people in general. Journalists is kind of the fifth branch of government, if you count we the people, because the First Amendment protects the freedom of the press. Now, that was a very literal press back during the days when that was written. A physical metal press with typeset and ink and everything, and that is your freedom of the press. But it is also your ability to stand and speak your mind about political things, or maybe non-political things. But now we've injected a sixth branch of government, which is just another layer of gatekeepers, which are the social media platforms. The big tech giants. They've injected themselves that I do find interesting. So with Marx, religion was the drug or the opiate of the masses. And the first wave of socialist thought was on what you think. That was the first war that they waged, is on what you think. God is dead. The nation state does not matter. Collectivism. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And now, probably since, all of this really started back in the 40s and 50s, 1940s, 1950s, is now they've been waging a war on how you think, right? What you think, how you think. And that's interesting. So they kill God, the nihilists. They kill God, and then they kill even your idea of then how you can think of the natural world, which is why they've been going after science. Right? So now we no longer think about God. Now we only think about science. We're a secular nation. Da 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 da. Oh, but now the science is not correct. The science is not inclusive. It's not polite. Do scientists realize the bedfellows that they've made? Do atheists realize the bedfellows that they've made? Because they're pushing their agenda. It's generally atheistic, but it's a very specific kind of atheism. You have to believe in the world that they see. Boy, isn't that what the tech giants do? You need to see the world as they see it, and by the information that they present it to you. Here are the things that you will see. Here are the things that you can hear. Anything else outside of that, well, that's probably going to be relegated to some form of dark web. Right? Not the intellectual dark web, but the outside, the Wild West, the hinterlands of the internet. And Joe Biden has married himself to these people. We see him putting them into his government. They're going to have power. They're going to have the reins again. And we just let them do it. So, what do you want to do is almost irrelevant. Be prepared for your gray jumpsuit and just get ready for it, because if there is not any kind of nonviolent protest to all of these things that are going to be proposed over the next 4 years, if there are not going to be any objections, if the Republican Party is just going to lay down, if any of the libertarian type parties are just going to lie down and accept this, then it's over. We might as well bring the Stars and Stripes down and run up a Chinese flag. Because we're done. And it's one of these strange things, because back in 2016, and I've told this story before, right after the election, Trump won, and it took about 45 minutes for people to start pointing fingers and saying, ooh, spoilers, spoilers, talking about Gary Johnson and Jill Stein. And ooh, spoilers, spoilers. And I typed a response, and I'm like, look, because you got to remember, at that time, your fellow citizens, half of your fellow citizens, this is 2016, half of them decided not to vote. Half. If not more than half. But half decided not to vote. And it came up again this last time around in 2020. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of spoilers. That he was spoiled here, he was spoiled there. No, 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 no. Your fellow citizens deemed it unnecessary to take part in one of the most important elections this country has ever faced. Just a little under half this time. They still did not say, we should be in on this. They said, let someone else do it. We'll deal with the consequences. That's why. Apathy. Right? Apathy and nihilism. The twins of destruction. So no. We don't know what the future is going to be holded to us. We don't know. We don't know. But we can guess. And maybe Biden's just going to be a lame duck. And he'll just sit there and nothing will be accomplished. But he sure as heck will probably try to bomb somebody. So be prepared for that. Your children will go die for another nation or another corporation.